member girls! We are going to talk about school today because guess what? I send my kids to school now. I can't believe it! 50% of my children are at school for the first time in their life. Okay, that's just one, but still. I just wrapped up rallying everybody over here on the public page, and it was our first Tuesday of the month at 10 o'clock tornado siren test. So that was lovely. So be sure to, of course, watch me be in my car in a tornado practice siren. It was super loud. I hope not. But yeah, we're going to talk about school and get into some specifics, you guys. Was it crazy, Tracy? I'm telling you, when you live here, you hear them and you have to do like a double take. Like, is it really a tornado? And then you have to think about the time and day and then realize, I don't know why I decided to do this video on tornado drill day time too. So that was great. Tracy, I'm going to answer your question. Is Miles loving school? You guys, I wanted to get on. You guys are my peeps. And I wanted to talk about, Tracy, I wanted to talk. I've got 5 talking points, you guys. I actually have a plan. Many of you guys are also homeschoolers like myself. Maybe we connected through homeschool first. Tracy, you and I might. And why am I in my car? Because Jeff's inside and on Tuesdays, he's working from home since March 13th. He has phone calls on Tuesday, like all day, and he just paces the house because it gets hot in our basement. So I can't blame him, but he just paces. And I was like, gonna hop on this. And he just kept wandering by when I was getting ready. And I was just like, this is not gonna work. So I decided to go to my car, you know, my fun little 2003 Civic. It smells like a boy. Smells like a locker room in here, you guys. Gotta get those essential oils going all over this car usually. So I see Sarah on, and oh, what was I thinking when the sirens went off? Yeah, and what was I thinking sending my kid to school in a pandemic too? We're going to talk about. So many of you guys know I've homeschooled the boys. Graham is in 7th, Miles is in 9th, and we have done homeschool from the very beginning. We did preschool at home, and the plan was to always homeschool through. We've already talked about all this in another video that was in a real tornado, Tracy. Remember? That one was the real tornado video in my car at Panera. This was a pretend tornado in my car. And so Miles started high school last week for the first time. He is in a private school, which makes it nice because it's small. Sorry. Now Jeff's sucking up all the internet, maybe. I thought that we could talk about 1, his action plan, 2, the talking points with the teachers. I have a little sheet here that I'm going to share with you. Carrying his epi, the lunchroom, and doing his OIT dosing. So those kind of seem to be hot topics. You guys know I've never been this back to school expert at all. I've always just kind of deferred to others that can give me tips and give us tips. I've got the homeschooling thing down though. So if you ever have questions about homeschool, I can help in that regard. Hey, Erica, good to see you. And the question I asked in the public page just a minute ago was if going back to school in the pandemic has been even made back to school easier for you as an allergy mom, because I could see that being the case, or if it's made it harder. So just asking them in general, but you guys, we'll chit chat here. You guys can share, ask questions, and I'll try to make this short and sweet, which never really happens. But so first off, yes, the school required an action plan. Their handbook actually said if you have allergies or asthma, we need a doctor signed action plan sheet. So they did not give us one, but we got the fair one. We went and we had it updated. We actually talked to Bob a little bit with Miles in person, and you would do this with your doctor, just about knowing his symptoms and when to epi and when not to epi. When they get older like that, they really can feel it coming on. They know that Miles just knows his body, knows his symptoms. And so he had some questions for the doctor or Grandpa Bob, just to kind of clarify. You know, I have been with him basically his whole life. And so he just wanted to kind of talk that through and clarify You know, what if I think I ate this? What if I know I ate this? Do I wait? Da, 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 da. So, of course, that's all individualized, and your doctor will know you and know your kiddo. And as they get older, it's just kind of nice that Miles could kind of drive that conversation because he knows his body better than we do. And so those weren't things that we could necessarily put in the action plan per se, just because they're things he just needed to know. But we did have that conversation, and we did the action plan in general, and got it turned in. So that was good. Got some comments. I'm going to have to come back and finish. That is totally fine. Of course you're doing schoolwork. So we did the action plan and we turned it in. And then I did the next step and asked for like a meeting at the school. And so I emailed them and just said, can I come in and drop off the action plan and just have a quick little, I said I wanted to be quick because I wanted to honor their time. And I know we aren't the only thing that needed to be done or meeting that had to be done. So I said, like, I asked Jeff, I'm like, what's quick? 30 minutes? And he's like, I'd think like 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, can I have a quick 15-minute meeting? And I sent them the email, and they were really nonchalant, like, oh, just come in anytime, we're here. But again, it's a small school. And also I would know, I think because he's in high school, this was way different than it would be with a preschool or younger kids. Like, I think they knew, like, he's a high schooler and he probably knows how to take care of himself. So you can just give us some quick things, and we know he's a high schooler and he knows better than them. And so their big thing was they kind of emailed back and said he can self-carry, he can self-administer, and yeah, stop in anytime, we're here. The secretary, 2 front desk ladies said that they would talk to me about it, when I stopped in. So I was kind of like, I kind of wanted an appointment, but kind of caught me off guard because it was so like just laid back and just whatever, no set appointment. So whatever, I'm just thinking this must be how high school is. Some of my friends, Tony, Liz, Connie, you guys can let me know if this is like typical for high school or if it's typical for a small school or whatever. But, you know, I'm feeling good. So I did not, I feel like my lighting just went crazy. Am I still on, you guys? I need some hearts and thumbs ups. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, now I lost my comments too. Ah! Hold on, guys. Bear with me here. There we go. Okay, now I can see the comments. Now I just erased them away again. What the heck? I want to see your comments, y'all. Okay, I'm not touching it. All right. So Miles, I decided to bring him with me since he's a high schooler and he's part of this process. So Miles and I just stopped in on a day that we thought it wouldn't be too busy and there wasn't anybody there. But what I wanted to do was I told Jeff I want to have just a sheet, like a quick sheet to maybe give to his teachers. I still feel like I just have terrible lighting right now because he has 8 teachers. So I took in this talking point sheet and I thought I would just be talking to one of the front desk people. And I took this sheet to be like my talking points so that I would not get confused or overwhelm them. So I was like, here's my notes for me and here's the sheet that I'll leave to them. What I wish I would have done was make a copy for myself and a copy for them, because we walked in, I handed them the allergy plan, I handed them the talking points and said, here's some things I just want to cover with you real fast. And then she had the sheet and I didn't have a copy and I couldn't really remember what was on it. So I'm just going to tell you guys real quick what it is, what I told them. It's right here, and I don't think that I'll give you a copy because I think it's super personalized, but I'm going to tell you how I laid it out. And it doesn't take the place of an action plan, so I don't want you guys to use it for that. But I think that having a talking point sheet was very helpful for us to just be on the same page. And again, this is for a high schooler who pretty much is going to take care of what needs to be done. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. So at the very top, Jeff did help me kind of make it, format it good so that it was quick and easy. And I want to give this to all of the teachers. I'm just going to email them to them so they all have them, because I don't know if the office actually made copies for the teachers, and just send them a little note. So we're like in our third full day of school, and so I want to get this done in the first week, but it hasn't been all done before school started. I talked to the front desk, but I didn't like talk to all the teachers. So you guys, I feel like I might be screwing this up, but Miles is doing good, and he literally, we'll talk about lunch in a second. Things seem really, really good as far as like his safety and stuff. So I'm gonna get this done, getting this out to all the teachers. The school might have copied and gave it to them, but I don't know that for sure. I could have probably had that discussion, but you guys, I'm a first timer. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. So I made a sheet. His name's at the top. Miles Kaufman, food allergy, quick notes, tree nut and dairy, and then our phone numbers real quick. And then right after that, we said self-carries and can self-administer epinephrine auto-injector. Then I wanted some talking points in 2 categories. So the first one is allergic reaction prevention. And I'm just going to read off what I put real quick. Must have 2 epinephrine auto-injectors, AuVQ or EpiPen on him at all times. Must have Epi on him or in bag or pocket. Oh, I guess I was repetitive on that. Oops. I might fix that before I send it to the teachers. Hey, Susan. So must have 2 epinephrine auto-injectors, AuVQ and EpiPen. Must have Epi on him in a bag or in his pocket at all times. Mostly eats only food from home, but enjoys being included in food activities by knowing the plans ahead of time or having food labels available to read. So I kind of wanted to put something in there like, I know he's not in kindergarten, but if you can like try to include him, if you're going to bring cupcakes or candy for the class, like I'm hoping that little sentence sticks out to them. 4th point, may want to contact parents with labels of food provided at school for a second opinion. Although he mostly eats his own food, which I said ahead of time, if they're going to do something like have Smarties or Dum Dums or something that's been super, super fine for us, I did let them know he can have his phone and he can have his phone in class. And I just pictured him like wanting to hop up and take a picture of a label and say, do you think this is okay? So I added that. And then the 5th point, Miles has good self-awareness of his allergic reaction symptoms, which I just wanted them to know, like he can pretty much manage this. Just here's some ways that you can help us, help him navigate it and prevent a reaction. So that was the first 5 points for allergic reaction prevention. Then I have allergic reaction protocol at the bottom with 5 more points. And here's the 5 points on that one. Miles should notify an adult if having a reaction. Example, tight throat, swelling lip, hives, upset stomach, etc. Those are like his symptoms. And so Jeff and I wanted to kind of just hone in on what he usually has. But we wanted the etc. because it can be, you know, anything else too. 2nd point, Miles can self-administer Epi in the thigh or somebody can help. Number 3, must not be left alone or sent to the office alone during an allergic reaction. Kudos to Liz Reynolds, who put that in my head a long time ago about her daughter in high school. Just don't send them to the office alone. Number 4, if injecting Epi from pocket or bag, lay down, inject, call 911, then call parents. That's what his action plan says. I just wanted it to be in one quick little bullet point. Bullet point 5, if no improvement in 5 minutes, inject second Epi while waiting paramedics. 6th point, using Epi has no downside. Better to be safe than sorry. Please don't wait for parents or paramedics to administer epinephrine to stop an allergic reaction. So it's 11 bullet points, and this was my talking sheet. I would love for each teacher to have a copy, and I'm going to email them probably today or tomorrow to make sure that they have a copy and to see if they have any questions. The front desk people, the 2 ladies that said I could speak to either one of them, secretary and something else, there is no school nurse. But the lady that I talked to has a granddaughter with milk allergies and a granddaughter at the school with soy allergy. And the second lady, I'm told, also manages food allergies in her family. So there's some food allergy experience. Those are the ladies who take the reins, and that was who I met with. And then they said there's about a dozen kids in this school, high school of 130 with food allergies. So Miles in his biology class was supposed to pick an career in biology to study, and they had to tell what they wanted to do. for their paper yesterday, and he said like 2 or 3 kids were like studying allergists. So I'm wondering if some of those kiddos also have their food allergies in that class. So that is the action plan we turned in, the talking point sheet, which I wanted to share with you guys verbally. And then lunchroom. The really cool thing about this school is because it's a small school and they don't have the funding or whatever to do school lunches, all the kids bring their own lunch. And when we went to an open house, just because a friend invited us, and we learned that they all do sack lunches, that was like probably one of the first things I heard that made me think, wow, I think Miles would really like this place because everybody would have a sack lunch like him. And so everybody brings sack lunches. On Wednesdays, they do bring in pizza. So I'll let you guys know how we navigate that tomorrow. I don't know if he's just going to want to bring a lunch and do something different, or if he's going to want to be included and have another option of pizza that's similar. So you guys, my encouragement is that as they get older, you kind of just want to talk to them and ask, like, what do you want? Like, what would make you feel included and happy, you know? And so I'm not going to say, well, you just take your lunch and everybody else. I'm going to turn on my car because I need some battery in my phone. Yes, so we want him to be included and happy. And so when they kind of get to these certain ages, and you guys will know, you know, you just want to ask their opinion and what would work for them. So he may want me to bring, please stop, car. He may want me to bring in pizza from somewhere else, hot and fresh, which I can do, or he may just want a sack lunch and not make a big deal about it. So I'll ask him. With his OIT, can't he have pizza? Yes, Trisha, that is a great question. He can have pizza, but we have only tried certain places. Other places put on way more cheese, and he is like, Casey's comes to mind. We have not tried the place that they're going to use, and so that is something that we could do. But honestly, we aren't real comfortable with him doing milk at school. So I'm going to talk about that next today real quick. We would just rather him be all dairy free, and then he does his dose at home. So it's something that we could get to at some point, but right now we're just like, we don't even know what school is like. So we're just navigating a lot of other new things, homework, getting up early, being at school every single day. So I guess the thought in that is it's best in our family to like just take one new thing at a time, or minimize the newness for me. And my anxiety and all the counseling I did is just definitely one step at a time. So we're going to get him acclimated to school. And at some point he may be like, I want to be able to eat pizza there. And then we would like test it somehow and make sure it's okay. We also have to juggle like when's his PE and things like that. So PE is actually right before lunch. So he would have been running, and they had to run a mile yesterday. So he would have been going into lunch. He'll be going into lunch right off of PE. So that's also something for us to keep in mind. So that is action plans, my talking point sheet, lunchtime. He does self-carry and can self-administer. They will let him, and that was something they just laid out. That's in their handbook. Most medication has to be in the office, but they literally in the handbook had an exception of asthma or inhalers. And we also had to sign like a waiver about administering epi and inhalers. And it wasn't just because we are an asthma family, like that was in the handbook too. So you guys, I did not know. Inhalers and epis are like something that they know about. They want waivers signed, and they talk about the kids being able to have that medication on them when every other medication has to be in the office. So it was cool to see that they're acknowledging that this is something. And he is, funny story, I didn't think about this. So I feel like my phone's going to die, and I don't want that to happen on us. Okay, 7%. We had to like juggle. He had to figure out how he was going to self-carry. This was like a big thing for us to figure out. Hi, Julie. So when we went in the office, I was like, can he carry his epi bag around with him? You guys know the red epi bag. He has always carried it. And we thought that he would want to do what Jack does in our group and put it in his pockets, OBQs in his pockets. And then the more we talked to him, he's like, I don't care if people know I have this bag. I am used to my red Epi bag. I don't want to change it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, great. I love having your opinion. So we asked the school, can he carry his OBQs in this bag? And they actually were like, well, yeah, of course. All kids are going to be carrying bags because of COVID. So normally they said it's a new rule this year, but it'll work great with his carrying his obby. So silver lining of pandemic, most kids are not allowed to carry backpacks until this year, and now they can carry them. So him carrying his obby in his red backpack is totally normal from what all the other kids are doing because they are carrying backpacks, which is awesome. You guys, bad news. I told him his red bag needed washed because it was kind of dirty and it got ruined. So those bags, you guys, that we love for like $8, I don't know, maybe I should have washed it on Gentle, but like the padding came unrolled and it's inside the bag all rolled up. So bummer. For $8, I can just buy a new one fresh, but he really liked the red one and the red ones are not available. So I'm on a tangent, but he's using Graham's navy blue bag because he's just so used to that size on him. It's like literally a third arm, you guys. So if you're wondering about your kids self-carrying and they're young, Miles started when he was like 7, and you guys, I can't, he said, when we were talking about it, he said, I'll probably carry this like my whole life. He's just like, this is what I like. I like this backpack. I think it doesn't bother me. It's light. I don't even know it's there. Julie says no locker, so she carries a backpack all day. Julie, is that a COVID rule? And is Bailey excited that she gets to just have her bag with her? So the kids can go to lockers at Miles's school, but they can also have those bags. So we do not have any in the office. They actually were really nice, and they're like, we have other kids back here, so if we need them, they're here. You guys know it's hard. We love the OBQ, and we need to get a second set. But as hard as it is to get sets now, I need one in my purse and Miles needs one on him, and that's pretty much our goal. So as long as he has it on him, and my little paper tells the teachers it's right there on his back if you need it. I'm so glad she likes it, Julie. That's awesome. Yeah, there are total silver linings in some of this, you guys. So at lunchtime, well, we were talking about lunch, they have to sit 6 feet apart. So he sits with the same friend every day, and everybody's like by themselves with one friend or whatever. So right now it's a good segue into going to lunchrooms, and hopefully at some point they'll be able to be in groups after Miles meets some kids. But I feel like some of the COVID rules with going to school for your first time with food allergies is kind of baby stepping Miles into the whole process. So there's been some good things. So that is, what have we covered? The action plan, they requested it. I made a talking point sheet to make it easy and simple. I'm going to send it to the teachers too. The front office has it. Carrying, self-carry, self-administer, lunchroom, and then OIT. Trisha was asking, he's on 75 milliliters, which is 1/4 of a cup. We used to do it at night. Then soccer practice was starting and it was getting a little rocky, and we homeschooled so we could do whatever we wanted. We started bumping it up to lunchtime. It was going great. But now we are going back to dosing at dinner time. And it's been going pretty well. If he has a run where he gets kind of the bump on his lip, or the bump in a lip and the tight throat are kind of his things with dosing, then we just kind of get some Claritin or Zyrtec in him for a stint of time, and that always helps. So they said if that helps, that is great. I think the spring is when we really needed that. But also, you guys, for you OIT parents, fizzy drinks. For some reason, with Miles getting his little funny throat thing, we thought that it was kombucha that made the difference. Like he wanted to dose, you know, mixing his milk dose with his almond milk, chocolate milk, and making sure there's plenty of carbs in that dose. But he always wanted to have a little Kavita, the fermented coconut water. Now the neighbors are listening to music. Something fizzy. We thought it was Kavita that was making the big difference, but then when we would run out, he would have a Pepsi or have a sparkling water or have a Zevia, and he would say, that works. Or he would get that funny throat and after dosing, and he'd ask for like a Zevia, take one sip and be like, oh, that fixed it. So, the fizzy drink is huge for some reason. And you guys have heard other parents, another mom in here, her kiddo wants ginger ale with his dosing. So I don't know what it is, but I've told Dr. Siri. It was kind of neat to discover it wasn't necessarily Kavita, although I love that because it's a probiotic drink. So we're going to keep that going, you know, not every day, but we keep it stocked for, you know, every couple days. And he shares with Graham because probiotics can't go wrong. But we're going to do dosing at night. Now, when soccer's called off, no sports, he literally just goes to school and comes home. If he had soccer practices at night and he's been running, we're going to have to think of something else, you guys. I am going to be adjusting all the time, I have a feeling. So we will keep you posted on how that goes. Julie says that her daughter has been having mouth watering with her dose. Does she drink something fizzy? And does she eat a lot of carbs? Because Miles has like the bagels going on. This plate of carbness is like insane. So, and Julie, have you done like an antihistamine for a spell to see if that helps too? I don't know. Okay, good. Things to try. I hope that helps because when Miles got that, I mean, he would always be like, my throat's a little tight. Not always, but about once a week, I would say. And, he just was so happy when he took that fizzy drink afterwards and was just like, wow, I only took one drink and it's gone. So, okay, yes, every day for antihistamine. So those are some of our tricks. I would not want him to dose at school. I just don't think that would go well. Although he has been pouring his dose, which blows my mind. I'm just like, we have been on the same amount since March 13th. So we need to get rolling. And we are going to challenge ice cream. And now Miles knows what he wants to dose. I feel like my school video has gone on a whole nother tangent here. So we're going to have to talk about this soon. But he has figured out what he wants to dose or challenge for ice cream. So I'll let you guys know what that is. It's pretty exciting. It's very cool that he came up with this idea because I was struggling to be motivated to go do an ice cream challenge. So I'll let you guys know what he wants to do. But that's what back to school is looking like. Somebody asked if he likes it, you guys. He likes it. He is a studious kid. I knew that school would be right up his alley. The learning, the organization, you know, being just a good compliant kid. He's just a good kid who can sit still and learn and enjoy it. The friends thing is what's going to be his challenge because he's very shy and introverted like me. And, you know, I think that the allergy, it's his personality. It's totally, he gets it from me. But I do think that, you know, food allergy has been, you know, a huge part of his life. And it just seems like he can go to school and it's not even an issue. Like literally there's no snacks or whatever. They eat their lunch. His lunch is safe. Everybody else has their lunches they're bringing. It's not super crowded right now. And he just gets in the car at 3:30 and is hungry for a snack. So, you know, I feel like there's not a whole lot going on besides him just getting through his lunch hour and he's hungry and he's gotten done with PE and he's got his food I pack for him. And I guess our biggest quandary is how much cold food can I pack before he gets sick of it? Because every day is a lot. I'm used to just like once a week with our homeschool group. So I need some cold lunch ideas, you guys. They do have microwaves, but I feel like navigating the microwave could be kind of iffy with food allergies. And I'm just like, and touching the microwaves in the pandemic, like there was some talk of not even using them, but they are. So it's just like, let's just bring cold lunches for now. So, he is liking it, you guys. I can just see him. I mean, the homework, he definitely is very busy because he's gone all day and he is having homework at night. So we opted him out of study hall. We were a little ambitious. So that is probably part of it. They recommend a study hall for freshmen. We were like, we don't need study hall. He's my kid. So maybe that was not the best idea. But he's in driver's ed, and yes, he is having fun. His biggest thing is making friends and meeting people, and he just is blown away by how many, and it's a small school, there's 30 freshmen, but still he's just like, there's so many kids to meet, and I said hi to this person, I said hi to this person. And I wish soccer would have been part of his first experience of school, because that's his thing, and I know he would have had extra super fun with that. But overall, I mean, he's doing fine in classes. He's just figuring out what school's like. The locker thing he got down pretty quick, and the teachers seem to be good. And so, yeah, I think it's been a good experience. Any high school tips, you guys, throw them my way. And I want to know how you guys are doing. If you have any thoughts on like the school thing and how to talk to people, or things that you've done, tips you would throw in. I know some of us have gotten started, but I had to experience it before I could get on and talk about it. So maybe this will be helpful next year. But the big thing is like the talking point sheet. I feel like this was really helpful, and I'm going to send it to teachers and see what their responses are. I'll talk to Miles before I send them, just to make sure he knows I'm doing it and he's not too horrified. But I think it's important. I told Jeff, I'm like, I just want them to have this info, because if something happened and I could have, but I didn't, I'll be really mad at myself. So I'm going to cover all my bases, and then we can just rest in that he'll have a good year. And at least the teachers, I feel like a 11-point bullet sheet on one sheet should be easy to read, and it'll at least plant in their head some of the things about how Miles lives and how he navigates his allergies, and how they can help and include him and make this a safe, good experience for everybody. So that's what I've got today, and I hope you guys have a great one. Julie, we will talk more, because I definitely want to help my girl get over that. How's she feeling about that mouth watering? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that bad, but of course it would be annoying and probably maybe frustrating. Anytime you have little symptoms, they can be a little frustrating, but if you talk to your doctor and they can just encourage you, this is normal, and here's some things we can move past that. So she hates it. Oh, poor thing. I don't think Miles loves the throat sensation, but do encourage her that Miles does get that little symptom too. And maybe there is some mouth watering. Maybe he just hasn't verbalized that. I'll ask him and let you know. But overall, I'm so glad that our kids, you guys, I don't know that we would be doing school if it wasn't for OIT, and knowing that Miles has some protection of contact and contamination and things like that. Maybe we would. I couldn't say, because I don't know. But so many here are checking out OIT or just starting to learn about it. Doesn't mean you have to go do it, but we love that you can just, I would have loved as a mom of a little to have this little seeds of hope planted in my brain, because I went through a decade thinking there is absolutely nothing that can be done for food allergies, and we have to be 100% safe, and if not, this could go really badly. So knowing that there is things out there that are moving, I call it move the needle for your food allergy family, bring you some hope, bring you some freedom. I hope that this is encouraging to you. And the whole premise of this is Miles is going to school. I'm learning how to navigate it as an allergy mom. It's going well. I've really tried to simplify the process for us, but also my kid is older, so I realize for youngers it's going to be a whole nother ball game. But I can't wait to just be on this journey with you guys, and we'll keep you posted, and we hope you guys keep us posted too. Send any extra tips that you have, because I would love to hear those, maybe use those, and I know the other moms here would love it too. I think it is her allergies. Absolutely, Julie. You guys, I was so miserable yesterday. Fall is my allergy season. Jeff and Miles are spring. I am fall. And I went to bed at like 8 o'clock last night. I thought I was like going to suffocate going to sleep. Everything was so swollen. I took Claritin and it did not work hardly at all for me. I took Zyrtec last week and it kicked in within 2 hours, but I was like a zombie. So I have such empathy for our kids on allergy medication, because one day is enough for me. And so absolutely, Julie, the whole allergy bucket, this may just be a time Like for Miles in the spring, it's like 2 weeks. Where he is a disaster. And for me with fall, I'll keep track, you know, but it started last week for me. And yesterday was awful. I get this way every year. I put on Facebook, is corn being harvested? Because I think that's part of it. And people are like, yep, they're bringing it down by my house. And I'm like, okay, well, it's in the air at my house. So Julie, I bet that is it. If it has not been like consistent all this time and it's just coming on, totally look at the whole allergy bucket. I bet that could be a part of it. Miles goes to get his shots. I just scheduled him for next week. He gets to spend his Columbus Day getting shots. So those are a big help for us too. But anyway, I don't want my phone to die. I hope you guys are having a great back to school season. We love being on this journey with you, food allergy and school and anything else that's going on in the world, you know, pandemics and all that stuff. We are in this together in all those realms of life. I'm so happy to be on this journey with you guys. You guys help me as much as I help you. Thank you for everything you've taught me about school over the years. I feel like I was able to really do a good job with this because of everything that you guys have taught me. So thank you for that. And let's just keep encouraging each other and being inspired to just keep our kids as safe and healthy as possible and happy too. I think Miles is very happy, and we will keep you guys updated. You guys have a great day, and I'm going to go back inside my house. I'll talk to you later. Bye.